For centuries, men and women have stepped away from the table to fast, to pray, to seek something deeper. But what does a 40-day fast look like today? I'm Dr. Sam King of Fasting, and in this podcast, I invite you to walk with four ordinary people on an extraordinary journey.
Welcome back to day 14, 2 weeks in. All right, big stuff on day 14. It's a big milestone when you go 2 weeks. It's a big deal. And there's a lot of things that you've learned and you learn and you continue to learn about yourself. Remember on day 13, Davey had an awful day on day 13. Day 14 was the best day yet. Didn't crave food once. I mean, awesome. I went to the gym and worked out. I actually was going to lift and forgot my workout bag, so I did cardio and did 20 minutes of cardio. And I was about on pace from where I was on day one. So pretty happy with that. Brienne was hungry. She craved hamburger and steak, and she thinks she's ovulating on that day. So obviously, women do go through their cycle if you're still cycling. So we'll talk about that a little bit as her cycle continues. But she did good. And then Chelsea slept amazing, like a rock. And so some people struggle with fasting at the beginning with sleep, and it has been shown to improve sleep, but sometimes in the beginning that doesn't happen. So sometimes people have a little bit of struggles with sleep at the beginning, but if you stick with it, actually has been shown to make your sleep actually improve. And she had a book that she was listening to from Brienne suggested called Hunger for God. And in chapter 3, it's fasting for the reward of the Father. So that hit her like a brick. I'd been very guilty of fasting for the praise of men and boasting about it, instead of being silent and humble and learning to fast the praise of God and Him alone. So our verse today is Matthew 6:16 through 18. And Matthew 16 through 18 is actually the Beatitudes it's talking about when you pray. And then it says, when you fast, do not look somber as the hypocrites do, for they disfigure their faces to show the others that they are fasting. Truly, I tell you, they've received their reward in full. But when you fast, put oil on your head and wash your face, so that it will not be obvious to others that you are fasting, but only to your Father who is unseen, and your Father who sees what you've done in secret will reward you. Those that seek the praise of men, that's all they will get, and only that. That was Chelsea's commentary on it, which is very profound and very true. And so that's our verse for today. And some people feel like because of this verse, they can't ever tell anybody they're fasting. It's like, no, you're not supposed to just do things to get praise from other people. Sometimes I tell people I'm fasting, sometimes I don't. But I don't be like, hey, I'm fasting. That's what you're not supposed to do. When I did my 40-day fast, most people didn't know. If somebody would have asked, I would have told them, but most people just didn't know because I didn't tell them. It isn't that you have to keep it a secret to get God's praise. You're just not seeking other people's praise. And so you may communicate it or you may not. But it isn't something you have to keep as a tight secret that you can never tell anybody, because God actually wants people to fast. And if you tell people that you are fasting, not for their praise, but for their encouragement or for them to pray for you, or to see that you can do it, and maybe they can actually do it themselves. They can ask you, hey, how'd you do it? But you don't have to keep it like completely, like I never told anybody that I fasted. In fact, it was weird when people didn't fast in that time. Jesus' disciples didn't fast, and they came and asked them, why don't they fast? It was actually weird that they weren't fasting. It's okay to tell people you fast at the appropriate time, but not for their praise. So our research article today talks about there's some research that will say you lose muscle, you won't lose muscle. And basically it's workout. If you work out, you'll maintain your muscle mass. Is muscle and protein loss relevant in long-term fasting in healthy men? And so what they did was they did a study where they actually fasted for 10 days. And yes, they saw some protein loss at the beginning, but if you actually exercised during your fast, which is what we encourage people to exercise to, it actually maintained your muscle mass. You don't have to exercise a lot. You don't have to be super aggressive about it. Sometimes it's just maintaining. And there's another interesting article, like how much do you need to exercise? Like how much do you need to exercise to actually see benefits in not only the fasting, but just in your lifestyle? They had a brisk walk, just walking briskly could actually add 10 years to your life. So just walk a little faster if you can. But they have this really interesting article. It's in Medicine and Science. It was written in 2021. The 4-second power cycle training increases maximal anaerobic power and peak oxygen consumption and total blood volume. So 4 seconds, maximum level. Then take a 15 to 30 second break and then do another 4 seconds. And just do that over, you do that over 10 minutes, and that's like all you need to do. So fast as you can, hard as you can for 4 seconds, and then 30 second break. That's it. It ends up being 2 minutes of exercise a day. I guarantee you can go all out for 4 seconds even while you're fasting. Okay, Brianne mentioned you had heartburn. Heartburn sometimes is because you have your stomach acid is a little too low, so sometimes adding a little lemon juice actually can help with your heartburn. But she also she gets a dry mouth when she's fasting for a long time, and it was really rough. So actually, to treat the dry mouth, you add cucumbers to her water, and that helped. Today's fasting fuel is cucumber water. See you tomorrow on day 15.